So basically today I'll discuss the user identity. Okay.
Okay.
So do you all already know what are the like user identification? Basically, gives us a ability to do the policies according to the user's access. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can like there is a HR department, there is a sales
Hmm.
department. So we can
Hmm.
give the access of the website and application according to them. Okay, according to the
Hmm.
department like this. Okay.
Hmm.
So the thing is, what happened? Every organization have Active Directory for data store. Okay.
Hmm.
So first thing we will complete the Active Directory integration with Checkpoint. Okay.
Hmm.
So how we can integrate the Active Directory? Right now I am doing how we can integrate the Active Directory. Okay. So
Okay.
see, or let me one thing. There is also one more thing. This is a user tab. Okay, you are able to see in dashboard.
Users and administration.
See, there is also local database like Palo Alto. There we have
Hmm.
local database. Same database here also we have. But
Okay.
generally we use Active Directory because we don't
For
want like
Windows 1,
yeah
Windows
yeah
2012.
yes Windows 2 and 12 or Windows any Windows server.
Okay.
So let me first. So I am going to configure. I am going to integrate this Active Directory with my Checkpoint firewall. So how we can? I just click here. Okay, manage servers and OPSEC applications. Okay,
Hmm.
so I am here. I get this window. Okay, if I click on new, here I have the LDAP account unit. Okay,
Hmm.
I can go directly via this thing, or there is also one way. If I go in here, here I have LDAP group. Right click on this
Yeah.
group. There is a new LDAP group.
Hmm.
Like this, we can also
Make.
configure.
Okay.
And also one more thing here. So generally I like to use this one. Object something. Okay, here we have all these stuffs there.
Okay.
So generally I use this manage because it's awesome. Servers. Here I add LDAV account unit. So here I give the name. Okay, let me clear one more. See, not here in this tab. Okay, here we have OPSEC applications. Here we configure new OPSEC application. Okay, like this. Also here we have servers. If I new okay from here in this tab servers,
Hmm.
I click new and LDAV account unit. Okay.
Okay.
Generally I always use this tab from here
Okay.
on here
Hmm.
because it is simple and it is like we can remember this also.
Okay.
So I add new just as well the account unit. So I give the name head office Active Directory
Hmm.
server. Okay.
Okay.
I'll give the color here orange. I also add one comment here. My company HO head office Active Directory server. Okay.
Hmm.
Here we in profile basically here we call this as a Microsoft AD. Okay.
Okay.
Here we call our domain. So my domain is DC equal to main comma DC equals to net. Okay.
Okay.
I have this forest in my. Here I select the CRA retrieval, user management, and Active Directory query. Okay, all these
Hmm.
options. Now I am going to my server tab here. Here I add the IP address of my server. See here I don't have that time any object footer, so I create new object. I give the name AD server IP. Okay,
Okay.
or I use AD server private IP. Okay,
Hmm.
I give the name 10.1.1.221. This is my IP of my AD server.
Okay.
There is another object inside server with the same. Okay. Yes, I save. Okay. So here I call this AD server private IP address. This is my, see, the port number is 389. Okay. It is a
Okay.
TCP port. Here I give the username. So I use administrator. Okay. Here I give the full path of administrator. Cn equals to.
In Palo Alto is also same thing we had done it, no?
Yeah, same thing. Cn equals to administrator. Cn equals to
Domain.com.
users. And now DC equals to Hemen. DC equals to net. Okay. I tell you that path. Okay. Not an issue. I give the password of my domain server, which is Cisco@12345. I'm going to confirm the password. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. See, if we want to use the encryption, then we go to encryption. Here we select use encryption. That time port will be changed. That time it uses 636. Okay. And here we can also verify the fingerprints if you want to. See, it is verifying. So right now I am using secure. Okay. We can go for this one also. It's not a big issue. Object management. See, here I call my, if we have two AD servers. Okay. That time. So if I am just here, I am clicking fetching the branches. So I get my domain here. Okay. I leave it default in. See, in authentication. See, this is for if we have a radius server for that.
No, we don't have any radius server.
We don't have any secure ID also. We don't have any TechX. And this has been OS password, means we can install the checkpoint firewall in a window also.
Okay.
So that time we can select this one. Right now we are using checkpoint password only. Okay. Default authentication scheme, which is checkpoint password. Okay. I leave it default all these steps and okay. Close. So right now we have we integrate our checkpoint firewall with the Active Directory. Okay. Now we also need to create an access role. Okay. So also if you want to see the details of AD servers, see, this is our.
Yeah, we added the AD server right now.
Yeah. So this is the, see, right, we always in here. So if we want to see the users details in AD server, so what we do in users tab, this is the AD server, just right click here. So here we get this one. Okay. And also this I have to little bit take this side up. Okay. Now I click in my name. So here now everything is come.
So okay. This username, everything are in AD.
Yeah, these are
name or
user. No. All these are in AD server.
Okay, all.
I show you also AD server where this information is available on AD server, not an issue. Let me make it small to this thing. See, in users and computers. See, this is there is, I think, administrator is there somewhere else. Okay, yeah, this one. See, I give this is my CN. Okay. CN equals to administrator.
Yeah, you give the CN is equal to administrator user.
Administrator comes under the users, and these users comes under my domain, which is Hemen, and this domain is from net. Okay. So the whole name is administrator.users.hemen.net. Okay. Inside net I have a Hemendra. Inside Hemendra I have users. Or inside users I have an administrator user. That's why I use this one. Okay. So these are my domain controllers, and these are my canonical names. Okay. CN equals to canonical name, something like this. Okay. So now I'm going to create one access role here. New access role. Actually, there lots of noise in your background, I think so.
Yeah. Please keep on second one online.
Okay.
I will come back.
Yeah, yeah, please. So basically, we set up the relationship with our Active Directory and checkpoint. Okay. Now I am going to create
Okay.
one access role. See, in access role, what happened? Basically, in access role, we can call our users and networks. Okay.
Okay.
Means users and network at one place. So I am going to add one access role here. This is access role for my HR users. Okay.
Okay.
HR users. Let me my HR free. Here we have two options. Any network means our HR connect with any network which is available in our company. Okay.
Okay.
Like our company have 10 subnets. So HR users connect with any subnet. It's not a issue. If there is a like some specific subnet for HR, then we can use here a specific subnet. Okay. So
Okay.
generally I have my inside users. I have only inside network, one network. So I call here I call my one network inside network. Okay, which is 10.1.1.0. Okay. Or we can leave it default, not an issue, any network. And here I call the HR users. So here also we have option any user, all identify users or specific users and group. So generally we are going to specific. Okay.
Okay.
HR. So here I am searching for HR. Okay, what happened?
You didn't create the HR, I think so.
No, there is a HR maybe. I need to do one. Okay, not an issue. I am canceling this thing. Maybe I have to install the policy. Okay. I The thing is after like when I install the policy, then only it set up an actual relationship with the server, right?
Okay.
That's why. We can also have this tab. See this tab for verifying our policy.
Hello. But
So
I need to give the response. How can you understand?
yeah, that's why. Okay, not an issue. Then let it be. Because it's like very lots of noise coming into my ear.
Yeah, daytime the same thing.
Okay, okay. Okay, not an issue. Okay, so I'm going to install the policies now. So you are staying in PG?
No, home.
Okay, okay then.
There is school is beside.
Okay, okay.
Actually, this is my friend room.
Okay, okay.
In my home, the internet is not work.
Okay, okay.
Me and my friend are staying for studying purpose of this home.
Okay. Okay, so policy installation is done. Now I am going to create the access roles. Okay. So in access role, basically, little bit slow. Okay, so I give the name, my or head office, HR, users. Okay.
Okay.
And here I give one my inside network. And here I give in users tab, I call the HR. Okay. What gonna happen? Actually, I didn't log in my Windows server. I'll just keep it. Actually my server is starting now.
Okay.
That's why it is not showing in there. Okay, now it is started. So if I add now, it is not showing yet. Let's cancel. Okay, I'm getting the information here. If I add the access rule here. That's it. This.
One second, keep online.
Okay.
You forget the
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
Because of later, when I am doing lab sessions, I need to
Yes.
create big problem.
So basically, we just set up the relationship with our AD server and that
Okay.
checkpoint
But
with the
we
checkpoint.
didn't get the users.
Here.
One second, show me that. No, not here.
Yeah, where I think I need to enable first these blades for that. Okay. So I'm going to I am now going to enable the blade on my firewall. Okay. This is my head office firewall. So here I am going to enable my I use identity awareness blade.
Okay.
So here I add AD query, I select browser based. If we have a Citrix server, so we can also use terminal servers. Okay, if we have a Citrix and all the.
How did you open? One second, show me. Cancel.
This one. See, this is my firewall.
Oh yeah.
Right. Double click on that. Here in blades where we have this network security blade.
Which one? Identity awareness.
Yes, identity awareness blade. Okay. I select these three objects. This is for browser. This is for captive portal. And this is we like what happened. Like all the users are not in domain sometimes. What happened? Like someone come into your company for 8 days only, like working for 8 days, and he will be after 8 days he is not there. So we give this captive port authentication to that type of guys, like contractors and all these. Okay.
Okay.
Next. So here I get the information of my AD server. This is my administrator password. So I am going to connect.
So this one, which one for administrator password?
Could not communicate with the servers. Okay, it is not communicating still. Administrator. Let me check. Let me first. So right now I am just enabling my identity blade. Okay.
Okay.
So enabling the identity blade, user identity blade, I am going to my firewall. Here, identity awareness blades, browser based terminal. Next, and smart dashboard could not connect to 10.1.1 with the server. DC equals to DC. It must connect. I don't know what is the. Okay.
Okay.
Not an issue. I actually missed one thing. That's why it is not communicating. Wait for the installation of this policy. After that, I will do that thing.
So when I'm doing practice, for how should I know that what I am missing?
I am just actually I am recording that these are the steps to do this thing.
Okay.
Actually, I forget maybe.
Hmm.
I forget to see in global properties.
Hmm.
We have a user directory. Okay.
Okay. In upstairs of QoS. Up. Yeah. Down. One more. Yeah.
Yeah, this one. So we have to enable this thing. Basically, it's enable the feature. Okay.
Okay.
Use user directory for security gateway. License is also required for that. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Actually, I missed this thing. That's why it is not communicating.
Okay.
I make the changes. So now I install again this policy. Okay, these are the steps. First, we enable this thing.
Hmm.
After that, we add the users. After that, we create the access role. I
Hmm.
write the steps for you. Okay.
Okay. If that is notepad, anything is there, it's very good.
Yeah, not bad. Enable the feature from
Global properties.
Google TIS. Okay.
User permission. That feature is user permission. User access.
I think the user directory. Okay. Properties, global properties, which is
Yeah.
user directory. Okay. After that, the second step is create relationship with AD. Okay.
Okay.
So which is in our see in our manage there is a you actually this is in recording. Okay, so follow the recording.
Okay.
And the third step is create the access role. Okay, after that enable user identification blade on firewall object. Okay,
Hmm.
and follow the step. After that create policy. Okay,
Okay.
these are the 5 steps. So done, this thing is done. Now I am going to add the access roles here. Okay,
Hmm.
I give HR users. I give a specific network here, which is my inside network, and I call the
HR.
it is not showing here. LDAP groups.
That HR is in already in AD server or you are
Yeah,
creating?
yeah. HR is there in AD server already. See,
Okay.
HR CN equal to HR users 01 users DC equals to Hemendra DC.
DC dot. Yeah.
These are there. Oh my. So right now I am creating new AD server again.
Okay. Totally new.
Yeah, totally new.
Okay.
I give AD01 something basic. I'll use this color. Here I select Microsoft AD. Here I give the domain name.
DC equal to administrator.
DC equals to HEMENDRA MN, comma DC equals to net. Okay. Maybe the thing is that is the I think problem. If I use HEMEN.net only here, CR retrieval active directory.
What is CRL retrieval and
These are the, like I don't know about these CRL retrieval. These are, this is for user management. This is for active directory query. This is something like CRL something checking happens on the active directory. Okay.
okay.
I know these are the terms of Windows Server admin. Now I add the here my server details. I am using the inside server. Okay. And
Actual server is in inside.
yeah,
AD server is in
inside server. I create one object previous only for inside for AD. Okay. Now I select the username administrator. Administrator. Okay, administrator is right now. Control C. Now I use cn equals to administrator, comma cn equals to users, comma dc equals to amend, comma dc equals to .net. Okay. Here I give the password. This is @12345. Confirm the password. 12345.
This server for this password for AD server.
Yeah, this is a password of AD server, which is administrator account. Okay. Object management. I fetch. See, I get these things here. I fetch my branches. Now I use here only checkpoint password. I leave it default all these steps. Okay.
Okay.
Close. Now I am going to add my access role here. I give HR. Maybe this time will work. Otherwise, I suspend that class. It become. I show you in my other devices. See, right now it is working. So what is the mistake which I did?
Before you give that HRDC colon is a preview.
Yeah, that is the mistake. Okay. So here I call my HR group. Okay.
Okay. That one we need to give direct what is called DC administrator.
Yes.
Okay.
Direct. I am just repeating this thing. We just let me do one thing. Edit first here. See, here we actually made the
command is the Hammond.net.
Yeah, Hammond.net only. This is the mistake only. Okay.
This is the mistake.
Actually, these are the basic things. Actually, we can remember. That's why. Yeah. Now you see. I think now you see that issue, so you can't forget that issue. Okay. So basically, I also create one access role for my sales team. Okay. Or just network IT teams. Okay.
Okay.
This is for IT network admins. So in network admins, any network, okay, or users is, I go to specific users. Here I also have, I basically include this administrator also. Okay.
Okay.
And also I have one network admin group. Okay, in my AD, this one network admin. Okay.
Okay.
Here we can call the machines also if we know the name of machines. Okay. This is for authentication. This is like it is showing that thing only. Okay. We can't do anything here. This is for machine. If we know the machine's name and everything, we can call this machine name here. Okay. Generally, we are using only IT and user base. Okay. So this one. Now the next thing is, so basically we completed this one, and this one. Now next thing is user billet on our firewall. Okay. Now I am going to enable the user billet in my firewall. This is identity awareness blade. I select this is for captive portal. This is for AD query. Means all the domains users basically get authenticated by the
synchronizing purpose.
No. All the AD users basically authenticated by a AD query only. And if the users does not rely on the domain, okay, that time basically it get the captive portal. Next, I connect. It is connecting now. So connection is successful. Okay, now I go to next. See, here main URL is this one. Okay. Now we added the portal accessible only through the interfaces. So I make it for all interfaces. Okay. Through the interface only, I make it through all interfaces. Okay. So we are done with this. Okay. Now I am going to create my policy. Yeah. Okay. So I have one policy which is for DNS query. Okay. Now I add one rule here. Add rule below current. Okay. I rule here for HR users. Okay. And HR, I just go to in there. I just drag and drop this HR users here. Okay. HR user access role here. We have also have options here. See, I first remove this one. See, if we want to add, we just go to here and just right click. Here we have add user and access roles. Okay. Not it is freshly for. See, it is for add object, add a legacy, users access like this. What happened? Network object. Somewhere else is some method also there. We can directly add that user's detail here. Let us put HR. Yeah, see, the same thing. We have to search for HR users here. Okay, and we just install this thing. Generally, the thing is, see, this thing is for like there is also something you will see. Add legacy users access. Legacy means old methods. Okay. Generally, that method right now we are not using anymore. We generally use only browser-based authentication and captive port. Okay. But we have these methods also, but basically that these methods do not used by anyone right now. Okay. HR users I call. See, in my destination is any in service basically. I allowed HTTPS. Okay, I allow these two services to HR users. Accept log install policy on this. Okay, now I also add one more rule above this rule. This is for network admins. So I give IT access. Okay. So here I just search for network admins. I get the network admins tab here. Destination is any. Here basically I give him access of HTTP website, HTTPS website, and also this telnet server. Okay. Telnet service. Okay. And here accept. So generally we write policy like this only. Okay. But if we want user based authentication. So generally what happened, there is also we configure this captive portal, right? So for captive portal, we just right click in accept, okay, and edit properties. Here we rewrite HTTP connection to an authentication captive portal. Note, redirection will not occur if the source IP is already mapped to user. Means if we already authenticated with AD server, then it is not give us a captive portal. Okay.
Okay.
And if user is not authenticated by AD server, then it gives the captive portal to us. Same scenario we have in our college time. Same scenario. And there is also this checkpoint firewall is available.
Okay.
So now I'm going to save my policies. And also let me open my GNS to test this telnet connection. Okay.
Okay.
Only one small mistake. I think based is about 30-40 minutes.
Okay.
This happens actually. The thing is, I am not very expert in checkpoint. That's why.
Okay.
Actually, I did lots of deployment later, but right now nothing is there. So the thing is, I forget some basic like some steps to how to configure this thing.
Okay. You configure this one is also real-time scenario, this LDAP, everything.
Yeah, everything in real time. I did lots of deployment on them.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, right now, basically what happened, I don't have any customer for checkpoint also. There is no business which is for checkpoint. That's why.
Okay.
So I'm become nothing now.
Okay. I will also concentrate totally in Palo Alto.
No, man. Checkpoint is there. Lots of customers using checkpoint. It's not a. But the thing is, my company is not selling checkpoint anymore.
Okay.
Today, actually, I also selected on Dubai, but they are not offering me good package.
Okay. How much they are offering?
15 lakh with accommodation.
With an accommodation.
Yeah.
But it's very low.
Yeah.
You have CCI certification.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. What is the role?
Role is like I just don't discuss this role there.
Okay.
Maybe there is a role for all the activities like post sales and pre-sales. So basically, policy is installed now. So this is my PC. Okay, this is my test PC. Okay. And I don't have like I don't right now. I'm not connecting with domain, right? This PC. This is not connected. I am logging as an administrator account for this one. Okay.
Okay.
So if I am going to access something, I am opening the Google now. And I am trying to browse something like www.amazon.com.
Okay.
Also, let me open this one also. Take little bit time. See, I am redirecting towards this one, okay? This one 10.1.1 towards Cyber Connect. This is the captive portal, okay?
Okay. You directly type HTTP the thing.
Yeah, I type HTTPS, okay? So it is redirecting towards this captive portal. So let me also going this www.bietjhs.ac.in. So when I am going to any website, I got this error. Okay, this type of privacy error. So I go to advanced and proceed safely. So I get this captive portal. Okay.
Okay.
So like I am login here as a HR user. Okay. HR1. I put the password admin@123. So now if I try to go to the website www.bietjhs.ac.in. What happened? See, now I'm getting the access. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I have access for everything. If I am going to Amazon, then I also have access of Amazon website. Okay.
Okay.
And
So we
now,
need to log in into the
yeah,
HR1.
yeah, HR1. If I check the logs here, see, here I am getting the logs for HR1. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the information. Okay. And also this is the allowed packet. We get the capture. So not an issue. I am just going to filter that thing. Edit the filter here. I 10.1.1.110 add. Okay. See, these are the activities which are doing by HR users. Okay.
Okay.
So right now I am logging as a HR. Okay. So I am not able to do the telnet to outside. Okay.
Okay.
So this is my outside server. So IP interface in brief, which have IP address 145. So if I am going to my inside PC, which is this one, I run that command cmd and I'll take the telnet of 192.168.0.145. I'm not getting access. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And if I want to see the logs for this, then here you also got the log for that. So lots of data is there. See, telnet is blocking, right?
Yeah.
This one. Telnet is blocking for HR user 01. Okay. For 190, this is my destination, right?
Yeah.
Now the thing is what I am now doing. Now I am going to my this one, this Windows server. See, this Windows server is available. Now this is login as a administrator account, right? In my
Yeah.
domain. So I am going to inside my domain server as an administrator. Okay.
Okay.
And if I want to telnet this one, this outside IP address, because for network admins and this administrator have access for outside for with the telnet. Okay.
Okay.
So actually telnet feature is not enabled there, I think so. Okay, not an issue. See, so now what I am doing here, I am switching my account from here. Okay. So before switching, I am just going to change my IP address ncpn.cpn. I am just disabling that adapter. Disable and properties. Now here I am going to, and I give the IP address which is 100. Okay. Let me also enable data detector. Log off. See, now I am also, now see, I am using the domain, okay, that time.
Yeah.
And domain for I am login as an administrator or any network. So let me check what I have, what are the name of users in my domain, okay.
HR1, HR2, and administrator.
So
my
in network admins, basically we have this network admin one, which is account is this one. So login name is admin one. Right? Login name is admin 01. Okay. This is admin 01. So I am login as a admin 01 here. Now I put the password admin at the 123 and enter.
Okay.
What gonna happen? Admin 123. 1. HR1. HR2 also there. Yeah, I am able to log in with HR2. Not an issue. After that, I also show you with as an admin, network admin. Okay.
Okay.
So it is creating the session for HR2. Network admin 01. Channel last name. Account. Login name is admin1, right? This is admin1, not 01.
Okay.
Admin1, right? So right now I am logging as a HR1. Okay. BP internal establishing. So see, the thing is right now my information is available on AD. Okay. So now if I am trying to go to any website, I don't need any, like I am just directly going to the website. Okay. I didn't get any message for that, like these captive portal and anything else, because I am logging with the domain users right now. Okay. And also in there you able to see I am just disabling this and go to the down here. See, I am now logging as a not this one admin HR2. Okay. So I am getting the information there also. Okay.
But you change the IP here. IP is okay.
IP also 100. Okay. So like this we can check the logs. Now if I again change my login credential here. So log off. Actually, I am showing you how we can use captive portal and when we use captive portal and when we use like this one. Okay. So
okay. That is
insert.
for local user. This is for used to the administration. AD.
Yeah. AD. When we are logging with AD accounts. Okay.
Okay.
So that time what happened? We didn't prompt for captive portal. Okay. But if we don't log in as a AD account, then what happened? If we are going to and try to going to any website, that time we have to put the AD credential to into the that captive portal authentication code page, right?
Okay.
Like same one right now. See, right now I am logging as an administrator again. Okay. In this PC only, administrator. Okay.
Okay.
And if I want to go to any website here, let me also change my this IP address because IP binding is available there. Okay. Now I am again changing my IP address, which is 120. See, I am redirected towards the captive folder, right? So
Yeah.
if I put my credential admin 1, okay, at the 123, login failed, the problem persists, please contact your network administrator.
Admin 01?
Not 0, it's admin 1 actually. Let me verify again in my AD. We also have admin 2. Can I check for admin to see account? I think this is the login name, na? Admin 2, right?
Yeah.
Password name.
User login name is upper one, I think so.
That
Admin 2.
okay, here both have same, so I tried admin 2 now. Admin 2. Now I think I am getting the access. Okay. Now if I again try, okay, see. So when I log in as an admin 2, I get the access. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the captive portal. Okay, how it will work and everything. Now let me again change my IP address. I am giving now 130. Okay. 123. And if I log off, and if I now log in with my domain as a admin 2, okay. Now I don't need to put anything. I just silently
it will be
that's
directly
it.
in getting the access.
Yeah. See 4113. These are the things. Okay. CMD. So if I first open the browser for this, then maybe I get the browsing. Like I am getting the Google. Okay.
Okay.
So without any prompting for any captive portal. Okay. So if I log in with the admin, see if I log in with the domain, that time we don't need to put the password and anything. Okay. If we don't log in with admin, then we have to prompt for that captive portal where we put our user credentials. Okay.
Okay.
Now I am also verifying the telnet for outsiders. Okay, 192.168.0. So 145. See, I am getting the access. Okay.
Okay.
Which is my R code. So that is the basically thing. We can also like deny some ports for HR users and some websites, some application to HRs, and we give the access to our IT team. Like my marketing guys want to access some website which is like Facebook and all these stuff for marketing purpose, and for other people we don't want to access. So that time we write the policy like this only. Okay.
Okay.
Now there is also some more things. So now let me do one thing. What about the guest now?
Guest also does not get access the internet. It will ask
Yeah,
the permission compulsory.
yeah, and see, these user credential is available in our user database in AD. Okay, but for guest we don't have any credential, right? In our AD server.
Yeah.
So how we can manage these things? So now I am going to show you this thing. Okay.
Okay.
How we can configure the portal and all this stuff for guest user. So the thing is, if I go into my firewall, this one, okay, in identity awareness, here I have these settings, okay. So browser based authentication means for captive portal settings,
Okay.
we can modify according to us. Portal runs on this gateway, portal runs on this thing. See, we can set the access settings. Like here we can change the interface and all these stuff. We can also import the CA. We basically give that error, that privacy error, right?
Okay.
So if we have a certificate signed by from some external CA, we can import that CA here. Okay.
Okay.
Like this, we can modify the setting. Access settings. Here we have authentication settings. We like automatic authenticate users from machine in the domain. All these. There is a lots of things are there. Username and password. Authentication method. We can also select the authentication method. Okay.
Okay.
Generally, we use username and password. User directory, internal users, and LDAP users. So we are doing like for whole users, all users. Okay. Like
Okay.
someone is internal or someone is external also. Okay.
Oh.
I didn't try for internals, but it is similar. It is for portal customization. Like we have our company logos and all these stuff. We can add here some script, so we get this type of portals that time. Okay. Are you available there? Hello.
Yeah, I am there.
Okay, okay. So here we basically modify our portal. That portal which we get in the browser. That portal we can modify according to our companies and all these stuffs. Okay.
Okay.
See, there is I want to show you one thing. See, identity user deployment from the portal. See, if we want unregistered guest login means the user which don't have the this username and password, what we do. So we just allow these unregistered guest logins. Okay. And I
Okay.
modified something. Ask for user agreement. Yes. Edit. We can edit the user agreement, which these term and condition we get somewhere else in some public networks when we are trying to connect. Right. So we can modify
Okay. These conditions only for apply in internal users.
no guest user for externals also.
For externals also.
Yeah. Generally, what happens? See, we don't want to access any external users to our network. Like some guest come into our network for 3 hours or 4 hours, and he want internet access. That time, what we do? So he can
Okay.
use these portals, these type of things there. Okay.
Okay.
So what we can also ask. Please enter your name, enter your company name, email address, and mobile number. Okay, like this. And we select OK.
Okay.
And also see identity agent deployment from a portal. Means
for downloading purpose.
yeah, if we want to like we also have a user agent for that. Okay, so if we install this agent in our PC, so we directly connect by using this agent only. So that time we don't like redirect to that captive portal. We basically directly connect with this agent. It is like same. You see these VPN agent. This is for like any connect and global protect VPN connect. These things similar to that. These only. Okay.
Okay.
Similar to them. Here we can define user may defer installation until this thing. This is the date. Okay. I modified this thing. This is the last thing in this. I'm going to install the policy now. Now I want to show you how we can like create users and all this stuff if we don't have username and password.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't write this thing anytime. I am trying first time only. I am doing that lab first time. I am not sure it will work or not, but I'll try. Let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, so let me verify this thing. It is working or not. Okay.
Okay.
So I am login as a
Local
user. Local administrator.
Tell me one thing.
Okay.
Before, how can you get that browser local and AD1?
Where?
When you're starting a username and AD1.
So there is a option. See, I show you.
Workgroup domain. You need to change the workgroup domain.
Yes. I just show you. I just show you that practical. Then I will show you that thing also. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, it asks for you want to go to via domain or via local.
Yeah, that's one.
That's one. Because the thing is, what happened if you are not in domain, like in your company you are connected with your domain, but what about in your home?
Compulsory is the domain they are running, so that's the reason we are connecting.
Yeah, but what about in your home?
Yeah, that is guest.
No, if you are in home, then how you basically connect in your PC? So that time you connect with any users, right?
Yeah.
And any local users which you have in your PC. I have only one username which is administrator. So now I am going for some website which is www.icar.org. Okay.
Got access.
Let me also verify why I got this access.
Go for in down 1.50 HTTPS.
It's not a 1.50. What is the IP address for that? Maybe there is a binding which is previous binding. It is okay.
1.50.
So basically, the thing is what happened. It is login as a this one. It has this admin 02. What happened because I changed the IP address, but I doesn't shut down that port, right?
Okay.
That's why not an issue. I'll just close everything. I open my sharing center and cpf. I first disable this port because it sent that time data. So there is a binding from previously. So now it is sending data from another IP address. So it basically bind that user with that new IP. Okay.
Okay.
It's not a like big deal. That thing happens. Enabling and log off. Insert. Because Mac entry is there in that Mac entry also there in checkpoint. www. Via etjhs.ac.in. This is my college website. See, I am redirecting. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
So see, right now I am redirecting. Okay. And see, I don't have the username and password. Okay. So here I put my credential, my name, my company name, anything ABC, my mail ID, something.com. Okay. And my phone number. I enter this information there and login.
Okay.
Network access agreement. So here I get the agreement at next.
Okay.
This thing I am trying, I don't know how it will work.
Okay.
But it definitely work. See, now I am getting the access of www.bietjs.ac.in, right?
Yeah.
Let him complete. Maybe the thing is what happened now. It is dropping because I don't have any policy. Okay. In policy, what I have the policy only for users, these users. Okay.
By default, we are creating that one.
Network admins. If I add new rule below this rule, this one. View guest.
Okay.
And what happened basically, if I have some, generally what happened, and in company we have a one guest SSID for guest users. Okay.
Okay.
So we basically give that guest SSID. So that guest users connect with this SSID. And we also provide some IP address in us, like some specific network. Like we have a guest SSID and we also configure one DHCP server for guest. Okay.
Okay.
In DHCP we configure one subnet for guest. So we basically put that subnet here. I don't have anything, so I just call inside subnet here. Okay. And we also limit them to a specific services. Okay. Like HTTP and HTTPS only, these two services. Okay. And they log in and policy target. Now I install that policy. Here see I am getting that thing. See Hemendra unavailable, unauthenticated, right?
Yeah.
Here I am getting this error message. See if I open this packet. Security gateway user. See Hemendra unauthenticated guest, right? Here I am getting the log for drop. Current rule number 6, which is cleanup rule. We don't have any rule for guest users, right? That's why it is blocking. We also get the IP address of those users. I also want to show you one more thing.
1.60, that is okay.
AD. So if now policy is pushed, so now I'm getting the access, right?
Yeah.
Unauthenticated means I don't have any authentication, okay? Means I don't put any username and password, right? I am a guest here. That's why it is getting unauthenticated guest, okay? Means I don't have. Now I'm getting the access of full internet. If I check my browser, I get the website of my college, okay?
Okay.
So that is the thing, how we can manage the guest and all these stuff in Checkpoint, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now I'll also tell you some theoretical points there.
Okay.
Basically, using identity awareness, the identity awareness software play lets you configure the security gateway to enforce access control for individual users and groups. You can use identity sources to get information about users and groups to add flexibility and security for the rule base. Okay.
Okay.
Means it basically provide us the ability we can provide access on the basis of usernames. Okay.
I have one doubt. Can I ask
Okay.
you?
Okay.
When you are connecting, suppose I saw one of my friend is working on some company. He is HR, not HR, some department.
Okay.
He controls all the other countries' access permission, everything. Who are doing work, all of those things.
Okay.
But I asked him his laptop. He's so much credential or everything.
Okay.
When he was login, that is AD directory. That AD directory is kept in his company. Example, I don't know where it is. He also don't know where it is.
Okay. I got you. So this AD authentication he did from his company, right?
Yeah.
Or his home also.
Home also he is doing the work.
Yeah. So the thing is, what happened? If he is in a company, then what happened? They are connected with VPN's clouds. Okay.
No, they are connected with the Wi-Fi, not RJ45 cable. With cable, they are running with cable.
Yeah. He is connected with his network. That time, what happened? When he is trying to, he get the IP address from DHCP. Okay. And what happened? AD is like somewhere in US. Suppose that. So the thing is, what happened? That all the branches and these head office connected by a VPN tunnel. Okay. So when he put his AD credential, then that time basically he basically sends some DHCP traffic towards that DHCP server. So DHCP server puts the domain and all these stuffs in his PC. Okay.
Okay.
After that,
Through remote VPN. Through remote VPN, it will be happen.
Yeah, remote VPN or maybe they have MPLS cloud that time. Okay, that happens in every network because they have only one AD server somewhere else in any location, and all the users get authenticated via this AD server only.
Okay.
So they are
connected. He didn't take any MPLS collection. That directly he took Wi-Fi, just like a Geo router Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
He took that one. Where some days he is working for in homework.
Okay.
He is online in 8 hours in home.
Yeah, it happens. So from home, basically he always connect with the this remote access VPN like Cisco AnyConnect, this Global Protect. Okay. And if he is in company,
no, I didn't observe any this type of VPN any client or anything. He directly switch on laptop. His username AD is coming. Same your login right now, administrator, name, then in downstairs DC domain name of the things.
No, basically that time he connect with some like some agents also. Maybe the thing is that time that AD server available publicly also, maybe. Okay.
Okay.
So what happened when we put our PC in a domain, that time lots of things like basically available in our PC. So maybe he is directly connected with the public IP of that AD. And this AD server basically behind some private IP address, but his static netting is there. So he sent that traffic to AD server. So AD server get authenticated. Okay.
Okay.
It's not a big deal when you did any deployment. You aware about this thing. Okay.
Okay.
See,
let's continue our topic.
See, in AD, what I give, I just give the domain name and IP address of AD server. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
So it's not a big deal because you are not much aware of these ICE and all these stuffs and secure ID, all these. If you are aware of these things, then it's become very much easy to you.
Okay.
When we discuss the branch office things, that time maybe I show you some practicals how these the users behind the branch firewall and the head office firewall connected via locally only. They consider as we are connected with locally only.
These AD server, everything is configured only for headquarters only.
Yeah, headquarters only. I'll also right now I have AD7 headquarters, right? I did same thing for branch office also. I use only this AD server, and that time I get the authentication for VPNs users and all these stuffs. Okay.
Okay. Same thing in Palo Alto is also same thing, but only for concept level names are different.
Yeah. But if Palo Alto I run 2 VMs, then my laptop become.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
Tomorrow I will sit on completely checkpoint for checkpoint.
Yeah.
I have anything doubt, I will ask in Monday.
Okay, that's okay, not an issue. So see identity sources. These are the AD query means
we done it to
queries the AD servers to get user information means checkpoint maintenance server basically continuously sending the queries to AD server. There is any new user authenticated or not. So from there he get the user information. Okay. In browser base, he give us a captive portal and we basically enter our user credential. Okay. Identity agent client that is installed on the endpoint computers connect to a security gateway and authenticate users. Okay. We can also I don't show you this user identity agent. That time it asks like how that time it asks for we can download or not.
Okay.
That is the user identity agent. Okay. Terminal server. This is if we have such tricks and all these. That time we use this one. Or remote access VPN I teach you later only. So these are the details of AD query, how it will work. And like I explain everything to you. You just go through it with one time only. Okay. Enabling identity awareness. That time we have give these things. Actually, I am following this document because I want to teach you everything. That's why.
Okay.
These are the like steps and all these stuff. Enable the disable remote access. I told you later. Okay, so leave it for now. This remote access. Working with access roles. I told you what are the use of access roles. To create access role, I told you how we can create access roles and all these. Redirect the captive port. I told you that how we can redirect the captive port, how we can set the IP and enable on all the interfaces. The same thing.
Okay.
These are the like policy for that. The HR server allow HR partners, all these steps. Okay.
Okay.
So user directory.
I done Palo Alto half practical. I didn't do the Palo Alto half practicals. Only for half I was stopped.
You complete all practicals. Otherwise,
high availability.
Yeah. Otherwise, actually, you lost lots of things because
Yeah, natting is also natting half is done, half is not does not done.
no, completely done one thing. Okay. So these are the
Okay.
things which I think I everything I explained to you. Okay. If you
Yeah.
find anything else, you just ask me. I will definitely tell you. Okay.
Okay.
And let me check. Hello.
Tell me.
Okay. So now I'm disconnecting. Okay.
Hmm.
And we will meet you on Monday now. Okay. And also
Okay.
I on
Please
Monday.
share it yesterday video.
Yeah, I have told that both two videos. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the on Monday basically I'll show you use of this user agent. Okay.
Hmm. One thing, how to block that? Suppose some guests come to our network. Okay, some phone websites, he downloading something. That
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
how can we
Yeah,
stop it?
that time I told you that thing only. I told you in URL. This is the next topic our.
Okay, okay.
This is the next topic. Okay. This is here
Hmm.
only.
Okay,
Application.
that is the next topic. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why, because I am the main purpose of telling you this user identity before this application URL identity, because I want to show
Okay.
you which user accessing which application, which user accessing which URLs.
Okay.
That's why, because I that time we show the only the IP address, but now I also show the username to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, man. See you on Monday. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.